This is the re-upload for the switching systems project. And so for my switching systems project, I decided to create a digital dice. And so the reason I wanted to create a digital dice was so that me and my friends, when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, would not need to use a physical dice. And what I want to add to this was a sort of a system to record the outputs of the devices because we need that when we're playing the game. And so the build for the digital dice is actually quite simple. Simple. We have a Johnson coder here, we have a clock, and we have a button. And so the clock feeds in information at a rate of 10 hertz, and whenever I click the button, the entire system can go through. And so this is actually has 10 outputs, but I only need the six of them because there's six sides of a dice, and each LED here corresponds to the numbers 1 to 6. And so every time I press the button, it should hopefully send a signal into the counter, and that should randomly output to one of the it should randomly go to one of the outputs and light up one of the LEDs. And those are the outputs of the dice. And so if I run it here, if I run it, my first test I get 3, my second test I get 5, the next test I get 2, and so on and so forth. And so there's actually some problems with this. So for the original project, I wanted to add a system to actually retain all of this information, but unfortunately that was not possible, and I did not figure out a way to do that. And so, and another problem is there's actually 10 different outputs for the gates. So sometimes the die will not work because it outputs to a gate that's not connected to one of the dice. But then, and if I click it too fast, and so the hertz of the clock actually affects the output of it, so it's not totally random, but the higher the hertz of the clock, the more random the output. And so if I use too much of a high hertz, the system actually breaks down, and uh, sometimes the thing won't work. And so those are the problems that I had. But overall, this is a pretty good way of recreating dice in a digital system.